Hey everybody, it's Jo here from Flourishing Introverts. Hello, I've got a stray bit of hair there going. Jo from Flourishing Introverts. Welcome to my lessons from a snowy lockdown. I've got to get this out of my hair, look. From a snowy lockdown lurker today, looking out into my back garden, and there's enough wind now, enough breeze now that the snow has blown off a lot of the trees, but still a lot of snow around. I don't know what it's like where you are, but I hope it's not inconveniencing you, but still pretty enough. Still pretty enough. So, what am I talking about today in today's lessons from a snowy lockdown lurker? I've had a really big aha moment this week, and it came courtesy of, how I've had a few spats in some of the introvert groups I've shared with you, always been the catalyst for something really creative. But a few spats I've been involved with. And I was commenting on a post in one of the introvert groups. And it was a post from someone who was expressing a bit of frustration that somebody was, that they were constantly being criticized for, being treated as though they are non-social, always want to be on their own, etc., etc. And I commented and in support of what this person was saying, because I feel the same way that, yes, I'm an introvert, but that doesn't mean that I don't get on with people. It doesn't mean I don't mix. It doesn't mean an awful lot of things. And my comment included something like, I've realized, no, it wasn't my comment, actually. Let me go back a bit. She said that she doesn't like being treated like, or the assumption being made that she's a real loner. So I supported her on that. And then somebody below commented and said, well, why does that bother you? Because isn't that the exact definition of an introvert? And then the person went on to say that they got frustrated when all anyone talks about is batteries, because actually you recharge at night and that's it. And that actually being an introvert is about being a loner, being solitary. And that's when the penny dropped for me. So the penny that dropped for me was that actually, good morning, Carrie from frigid Minnesota. Yeah, we've got it bad here. I'm sure it's way worse where you are. I think it was about -4 here last night. So I'm sure it's a lot worse where you are in Minnesota. So it helped me with this realization, actually, that many people come to introvert groups not necessarily with the Jungian definition of introvert, which is where I come from, which is that it's about my mental batteries. It's not about behavior necessarily. It's about what I need in order to be recharged mentally and what drains my mental batteries. Other people come to introvert groups with more of that dictionary definition of what it means to be an introvert. And funny enough, I'm running a masterclass 31 below in Minnesota. Wow, that's cold. Yeah, it doesn't get that cold here. So you're almost at that level then where you could throw hot air up and it would come down as like ice crystals there, aren't you, Carrie? Yeah, so some people come into introvert groups purely from that kind of dictionary definition. And I'm running this masterclass tonight. So I've decided to include in the masterclass, it's about how to coach introverts. So in the masterclass, I'm including the synonyms that are associated with introversion, which are horrible in my view. I'm just going to see if I can open it and share with you without kind of wrecking everything. Yes, so the synonyms of introverts, and this is from Thesaurus and places like that: brooder, lonely, narcissist, wallflower, autist, shy, antisocial, unsociable, diffident, timid, withdrawn, self-absorbed. No wonder nobody wants to associate with an introvert. Whereas the extrovert synonyms: gregarious, life of the party, outgoing, social, friendly, lively. What a difference that is. So It really helped me understand why I have these little spats with people in the introvert groups from time to time, because we're coming at this from a completely different perspective. And it's not that I'm right and they're wrong or vice versa. It's actually that, we're coming at this looking at it through our own lens, as it were. So I found that so helpful to, yeah, I know, isn't it awful? Those synonyms, Jenny, aren't they awful? Um, yeah, so it's very interesting that you know that's how people view their introversion. What it really also helped me do, and I'm involved in Sarah Price's Actually challenge at the moment, and it's about really kind of understanding who I want to work with. And it really helped me understand that I want to work with introverts who have an understanding of their introversion and are not using it as an excuse to be held back. Um, they know they have more potential. They know they have strengths and kind of innie powers that aren't being accessed, but they're not putting themselves in that box of loner, narcissist, all of those things, because I think those terms are just awful. What I am delighted about is that there is currently a petition to get them to change the dictionary definition of introvert. And some dictionaries I noticed have already amended, and they do talk more about it being about mental battery recharging, etc. So we've got a way to go. And until those synonyms are changed in the thesaurus, then if anyone were to just look up introvert and see those, then, why would they want to employ somebody who identifies as an introvert? I'm just really shocked by it, but so pleased that I got that little bit of clarity. So that's my kind of aha moment. And I think that's going to feed me for some time to come, actually, that wonderful little aha moment, because it helps me understand how I'm talking to my ideal clients as well. And is it about me convincing them that it's not about those things, that it's about this? Well, I don't see my role as being about convincing people. I see my role as working with those who already have that level of understanding. And maybe by keeping doing that work, then more people will get to have that level of understanding. But I don't think I'm there to persuade or convince people that the way I look at it is right and the way they're looking at it is missing something. But I'd be interested in your views on that. Interested in your views. Anyway, for my masterclass this evening, what I'm talking about are the myths and misconceptions, because I think people still need to understand that. I'm talking about the what it is that introverts look for in a coach. And this was really interesting too. So in another group, a very large introvert group, I'm sure you know which one I'm talking about, I posted a question about what I look for in a coach and what do introverts look for in what do other introverts look for in a coach. I had lots of people kind of like and react to my post, but only one or two comments. And one of the comments was, I can't see, I don't understand why I would pay somebody to tell me how to run my life. And I thought that was interesting too, because if that's still the perception of what coaching is, then we've got a way to go to match kind of understandings on what we mean by coaching. But some of the things I'm talking about, that from researching both through me obviously, but other introverts, is that we need time. If we're asked a question, we want time to reflect, time to really think about what we want to say, how we want to respond, what we feel about that question. So don't hurry us along, don't fill the gaps, don't fill the silences. I'm also talking about the importance of, if it's group coaching, it can be a bit overwhelming, so not too hoorah. But because some people like it hoorah and it's not entirely for introverts, then Have some reflective exercises as well. Have some small breakout room exercises. Have some polls, something, anything that gets us kind of engaged. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry, I couldn't stop in time. Something that kind of helps us engage without having to put our hands up, without having to speak up, without having to chip in. So I hope I do us proud in this masterclass on how to coach introverts. I'm pretty sure I will have taken into account pretty much everyone's ideas and opinions. And of course, the important thing is that, you know, no two introverts are the same. So it's not like, oh, I'm coaching an introvert, therefore I need to do this, this, and this. Spend some time understanding me as an introvert, as I hope good coaches with whoever they were coaching, so that what they're doing is they're bringing their best selves. Thank you, Jen, for the bless me. So that they bring their best selves to that coaching conversation, and more importantly, enable us to bring our best selves to that coaching conversation. So I'm really looking forward to the masterclass. The podcast that I've recorded for this week is, I'm going to have to do something with my hair. It's everywhere at the moment. The podcast that I've recorded was triggered by something I read in this book. Oh, it's a bit shiny. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. Beautiful book, beautiful, beautiful book, both in terms of the messages inside and the illustrations. They're all hand-drawn illustrations. And it's one of those books that I open from time to time and it just falls open on a page that I seem to need. And it fell open just as I was thinking about my podcast on a passage from the boy saying, "I think you believe in me more than I believe in myself," said the boy. "You'll catch up," said the horse. And I thought, how wonderful is that, actually, that, you know, there are people out there who believe in what we're doing. And sometimes if we doubt ourselves, if we don't believe in ourselves, just checking in with somebody else gives us that little reassuring message that somebody else believes in us. And that encourages us to keep going until we raise our own self-belief again. Yeah, it's a lovely book, isn't it, Jen? I absolutely adore it, all of it. So if you haven't seen it already, do get hold of a copy because it's just beautiful. Anyway, that's my little check-in for today. My big aha moment, a little bit about the masterclass I'm running tonight, and obviously my podcast, which will be released on Thursday. So do listen in if you can. I'd love to hear your feedback. Anyway, that's all from now. So I'll put myself on silent and just allow you to catch up, as StreamYard has this long delay. So rather than just close now, I'll just turn myself on silent and let things naturally finish off. See you next week.